YouTube? This is Tired Metalhead Weatherman. I hope you guys have had a good weekend. Still a little time left, but we got a little bit going on here. So, originally I said in the last video, by the way, that video is doing very well. I'm very appreciative of that. Thank you guys. Keep on watching, keep on sharing, keep on dropping likes. Drop a few comments. I don't bite, man. But anyway, so originally I was mentioning maybe doing a tropical outlook forecast. And originally, I actually wasn't going to do one today because when I went and looked out at the forecast models for the Atlantic, it looked awfully quiet. But about a couple of runs ago, I saw a few interesting features that are pretty close to home. So we're going to go ahead and actually go over that. This video is going to probably be really short. This might span less than 10 minutes, to be honest. But I mentioned yesterday that I did see a little storm off the Baja here, but we're going to be mainly focusing on the Gulf today, or in tonight's video. So, right now things look quiet. We're at about maybe, 6 o'clock according to this model here. But then look at this little feature right here that's toward the central Gulf here that's trying to develop. Regardless of whether or not this does develop, this will cause more unsettled weather for the south and east. And there is, in this operational GFS does kind of give it a small chance of trying to develop. Whether it becomes a completely tropical entity, that's hard to say. Not much time, but given the way the wind shear is over the Gulf, coupled with the pretty much bathwater-like temperatures, you can't rule it out. So there's that. So there's this system coming in early this week, right around Tuesday. And then we take yet another look to the Gulf later in the week, or towards the end of the week, I should say. And then look at this little sneaky thing that pops up right here in the panhandle of Florida. It's very small, very weak looking, but it looks like yet another concentrated low, and it causes yet another messy weekend for the South. And then once again, things look quiet, and then towards the end of the model run, I think I saw one more feature trying to pop up somewhere around here in the Gulf. Hard to say if this forms up in anything, but one thing I've noticed is that a lot of these little areas of vorticity are popping up on the edge of these little cold fronts that have been going through the northern tier of the country. So pretty much right now during this time of year, given the conditions, especially around the Gulf, we'll have to watch the more southern boundaries of these cold fronts here, especially as these start to reach a little further south or go offshore here for any sort of tropical development. Over time, I do expect the tropical Atlantic as a whole to start to really open up more, but this is about what we would expect for this time of year as far as hurricane season is concerned. During June and July, we tend to look at more systems being close to home, and once we get towards August, September, October, the peak months, that's where you just pretty much are looking everywhere. Because normally during this time of year, as you go further out to the east of the Caribbean, the upper level winds, there's way too much going on over there, way too much wind shear, just tears these storms apart before they even get a chance to get going. But seeing a lot of interesting stuff here. Keep in mind, it's a lot of hearsay right now, especially as we get further towards the end of these model runs. Because look at this, about almost 384 hours out, essentially. Still not like a really impressive system. So of these, I would expect maybe like 1, 2 at the most to maybe form. And even then, it's a toss-up as to whether or not these even will become fully tropical by the time they impact land. Because it doesn't look like they're going to have a lot of time over water, which is key to having a tropical system develop, because it takes a lot of time. But if we got a little bit of time here, I may actually go ahead and try to take a quick look at the GEFS. because I always want to try to give the most thorough information that I can here. Alright, let's take a look here at the vorticity for the ensemble here. Doesn't quite pick up, it doesn't give you the same kind of rich colors as the operational GFS, but if we see any sort of similarity, that definitely increases our confidence. So right now, the ensemble doesn't really say anything magnanimous to me right now. In fact, I'm not very impressed with this at all, to be honest. I don't see much of anything going on, and it could be a glitch with the system. Hold on, wait a minute. Towards the end of the model run, it doesn't really coincide with the operational, but I did see a little something pop up here towards the coast of Louisiana. Like I said, this is so far out, 384 hours. We're talking almost 2-3 weeks in advance. That is way too much time for things to change. So this I wouldn't disregard it, but I would definitely take this with a grain of salt. What I will say though is we're gonna have to be keeping our guard up around the southeast. Even if these storms don't become tropical, they are definitely going to be bringing a lot of rain. And for anyone around, especially further south towards Florida, maybe southern and central Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, may have to be on the lookout for some flash flooding, because I noticed that we've had a lot of popcorn storms recently, and if you just happen to be unlucky and be under one of those suckers, you know how heavy the rain tends to get. And the thought of there being a tropical entity helping fuel these storms, those downpours may only get heavier, to be honest. So if you're in any low-lying areas, just keep your eye on the weather. But that's really all I got. Just a short one for you guys, but I'm trying to stay out there with y'all. If you like this video, of course, leave me a like, drop a comment, share the video, try to get this information out to people that may need it. But until the next video, this has been Tire Metalhead Weatherman. I will see you guys in the next one.